Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome to my efficient 1 to 99 smithing guide. So in this one I'm going to show you guys the best way to train your smithing starting at level 1 all the way up to level 99 using the most efficient methods possible. I'll try to cover some decent profit methods also because you can make pretty good money through smithing, but I will first cover the most efficient methods to get your level to 99 quickly and effectively. So like most skills, it's always best to start off by questing, and for smithing there's one quest that is very good. Most of you guys have probably heard of it. It's the Knight's Sword. It's actually free to play, so even if you're a free to play player, you should still definitely do this quest. It gets you directly to level 29 smithing from level 1. It gives you like 12 point something K smithing XP. Doesn't take very long, it's a pretty easy quest, and you should definitely do that. So that's instantly going to get you up to level 29 smithing. From there until 40, you kind of just do whatever you want, really. If you don't care about money, I would just buy up about 1,000 iron bars and just make iron plate bodies. That'll get you very quickly, but it will cost a few hundred K. So if you're a little bit more concerned about money, you could just make iron dart tips, something like that, until 34, and then you can make steel dart tips and make those until 40. The actual XP that you need is only about 25,000 from 29 to 40, so no matter what you do, it's not going to take very long at all, so it's really up to you. If you want fast XP, then do iron plates. Otherwise, I'd probably do dart tips, because with those you can actually make a little bit of profit. And from 40 onwards, there's basically only one method that is ideal. I'll show you guys a couple more afterwards because it's not always reliable, but at level 40 you can start making gold bars and you can start doing blast furnace. And blast furnace is insane XP per hour, and it's pretty cheap because all you're doing is gold bars. So that's really the most ideal method, and that's what I'm going to spend the most time in this guide covering. So next thing I'll do is show you guys how to actually get that done properly. So from level 40 you can start making gold bars, and I'm going to show you guys how to get extremely fast XP per hour using just gold ores and turning them into gold bars. So in order to do this method, you need to at least start the giant dwarf quest, and you need to complete the family crest quest. You need to have goldsmith gauntlets or a smithing cape or max cape. The smithing cape skill cape perk acts as goldsmith gauntlets, so the only time this actually is useful is if you have a max cape, it acts as full graceful if you're wearing this, and also has the goldsmith gauntlet effect. And if you're level 3 or some kind of limited account that can't do family crest, then once you get 99 smithing you can still do this because you'll have a smithing cape which acts as goldsmith gauntlets. So in that respect it's actually pretty useful. But anyways, for this method you want to have those 2 quests done, and for most people I'm assuming you're probably not maxed or don't have 99 smithing if you're watching this guide, and so you're going to need goldsmith gauntlets. You can get those from doing family crest and taking your gloves to the guy in the Alcarid mine, and you'll turn them into goldsmith gauntlets. And what those do is they basically double, actually more than double, your XP per bar for smithing gold. So if you don't have them, then this is not a good method at all, but they're pretty easy to get. Other than that, you want to have good weight reduction on, and if you don't have a max cape, you want to wear the best weight reduction you can, and you don't need to worry about the graceful effect. So you want to look something like this, most likely. Pretend these are goldsmith gauntlets. I actually think I have cooking gauntlets in my bank right now, but that's just because my max cape acts as goldsmith if I ever need them. But yeah, you can get better weight reduction if you put on boots of lightness and a spottier cape instead of the graceful counterparts. So since the graceful effect doesn't matter, it's better to wear those for a bit better weight reduction, and then you want to have the goldsmith gauntlets on. And other than that, you don't want to have anything on you. You want to keep your weight as low as possible. You will need to use stamina potions, so have some of those ready to go in the bank, and you're going to need some buckets of water. So I'd buy a few of those. They're pretty cheap in the GE, and you will sometimes need to use them, basically only if you mess up or things go wrong, so you won't need to use a ton of them, but you do want some of them around. Another thing that's very useful is screen markers. I have one for, I usually have my ores like right here. So I have one for where my ores are, because you're going to be constantly withdrawing ores from the bank and running around in circles. Sometimes I use a deposit inventory if I have a empty bucket or a 1-dose missing stamina potion, get rid of those. And this marker is for the interface when you're collecting the ores, which I'll show you guys in a second. It just makes it easier to collect them. So screen markers, you can use them on OS Buddy if you have Pro, or you can download Screen Marker. I think it's like screenmarker.com or something like that. It's also Epic Pen. There's a lot of different programs that can do that, just make marks on your screen, which is quite useful. So in order to do Blast Furnace effectively, you do need to do it with a clan, because without good organization, it's not going to be extremely good XP. When I did my levels pre-87, I did Blast Furnace and I superheated in the standard theme world, but that maxes out at around 140k XP per hour. Doing this can get 300k plus XP per hour, so it's over twice as good as doing that. And the CC that is currently active is Truebf. It's just all one word, Truebf. I'll put it up on the screen right now, and I can't promise that CC will always be active, so if not, I'll try to update this guide, but there should always be a Blast Furnace clan active. This one's been active for a long time and is the best one right now, so it most likely will still be active when you're watching this, but I can't promise. But either way, the reason that it works much better with a clan is because they have organized people. They only have a few people running the machine so that everyone else can just focus on doing the blast furnace and getting the best XP possible. And oftentimes you'll have to pay like a certain amount of GP per hour, but it's usually not that much. I think it's maybe like 50 or 100k. But anyways, basically what you do is you just let other people do the machine, they get money, and you get good XP. So you just want to run back and forth between the furnace and the bar dispenser and the bank, and you just want to do gold bars. And as far as XP, gold bars are the best. I'll cover a little bit later. You can do other bars here too, but as far as XP, gold bars are the best ones to do. So it's not at all AFK. You do have to definitely stay focused, and you keep going back and forth between the conveyor belt and the bar dispenser. And one thing that's really important to note is that when you're collecting your ores from the bar dispenser, it can really speed up your XP per hour when you do it properly, and you want to have it so that you have your one key free and can press the one key to send your ores down the conveyor belt. As you can see, it opens up the chat box interface, and you can press 1 to send to choose yes. You want to click away on the same tick as you send your ores down there, and you want to click to the west side of the bar dispenser, so that'll put you a little bit closer to the bank. And you want to open the bar dispenser as soon as you possibly can. If you miss one tick right here, then it will often make it so that you can't collect immediately. You have to use a bucket of water on the bar dispenser to cool down the bars. But if you work it out just right like this with just the perfect timing, then you won't have to do that. As long as the furnace is running properly, and this really does speed up your XP per hour. This could be the difference between like 280k and 320k, so it's definitely noticeable. I haven't spent a lot of time actually doing this, but I mostly was just trying it out today, and I picked up that little tip from Osiris. He made a video. He's an Ironman, and this is a really good method for Ironman also, because they can get gold ores pretty quickly. So yeah, shout out to him for giving me that little tip. But yeah, it definitely does speed up your XP per hour, and as long as the furnace is running properly, you should be able to get over 300k XP per hour, which is really crazy. That's the highest XP per hour you can get in smithing through any method that I know of, and it's about 2 GP per XP right now, so it's quite cheap. And gold bars are pretty much always fairly cheap to do, because if you're not doing them through the blast furnace, then they're pretty slow XP. So not that many people do it, I guess, but there are a lot of people that do them through the blast furnace. So this is my recommendation. You can do this from level 40 onwards. Before level 60 smithing, you need to pay a certain fee to get into the blast furnace area, just to an NPC, but it's a minimal fee, and it's definitely worth it to do from 40. I mean, 40 to 60 should take you like an hour if you're doing this, probably less. So it's not like you're going to be paying for very long, and from 60 plus, you don't need to pay anything. So as long as this is active, do this from level 40 to level 99. It's cheap, it's fast, and it's the best way to go, definitely. The disadvantage of blast furnace is that sometimes it's not active, sometimes there just aren't any shifts going. And when this is not the case, I will show you guys a couple other good methods to do, or if you want to do more AFK smithing, I guess. But my personal recommendation, if you're going for 99, would be to just hang out in the blast furnace CC. Do this whenever you can, and if there's no shifts active or something, then just do another skill in the meantime, because this is just by far and away so much better than any other method that it's definitely worth it to do this as much as you possibly can. So the secondary method that is viable in terms of XP per hour for efficiency is making plate bodies, and at any level you can make a certain type of plate body, and as your level gets higher you can make higher level ones. At level 88 you can make Addy plate bodies, at level 68 you can make Myth plate bodies, and nobody really makes any other ones. Even Myth plate bodies, not many people make those because they're really expensive. But Addy plate bodies is what I did from 87 to level 99, because when I did 99 smithing there wasn't really any blast furnace CCs, I don't think. If there were, I didn't know about them, but either way, yeah, this is what I did from 87 onwards, because I used Dwarven Stouts, which is pretty easy to do. So if you have 87, then you can do them pretty easily. Dwarven Stouts don't cost much of anything. These are about 240k XP per hour, and right now they're about 5 GP per XP, so they cost more than twice as much as gold, and they're slower XP per hour. So obviously it's much less desirable, so you should only do this if you want to AFK, don't give a shit about money or XP or anything. I mean, they're really not that good, and it's just if you want to like focus on smithing and there's no active blast furnace worlds, you could do these. And I guess at lower levels you can. I mean, if you don't care about money at all, you can do these. That's pretty much the only time I'd ever do it, though. So yeah, I would definitely stick to blast furnace, but plate bodies, no matter what kind of bars you're using, it works out exactly the same way. So this is a basic method. I do use stamina potions. You will need to use a dose every so often. And I use imbue too, since you can only make 5 per inventory no matter what, so you can have a couple extra spaces in there. So you may as well imbue if you can. But yeah, this is plate bodies, pretty straightforward, pretty simple, so you can do this also, but I would definitely recommend blast furnace over this. So that's pretty much it as far as viable good XP per hour smithing methods. The next thing I'm going to cover is a few ways to make money through smithing, because it is definitely desirable, and you can actually make good money through smithing, also with the blast furnace. I'll get into it in a minute. So that's really the only way to make good money in smithing is blast furnace. A lot of times lower level dart tips do profit a little bit, but they're slow XP and they're slow GP, and really the way to make money is to make any bar besides gold bars in the blast furnace, and you'll make profit, because pretty much any other bar will use coal, and the blast furnace requires only half the amount of coal. So normally rune bars would use 8 coal, and instead they use only 4, and same with any other bar. So basically any bar that you make, you can make pretty good profit. It depends on the prices of the ores, which seem like they fluctuate a fair amount. I've never actually done this personally, but I know that you can make well over 1 mil GP per hour making certain types of bars. So steel bars you can make at really low level, and even those you can get like 500k to 1 mil GP per hour just making steel bars at the blast furnace. And the problem is the XP per hour is pretty low. I mean, those would probably make like 50k XP per hour, so that's pretty slow, and it's probably not worth it just to be getting a bit of GP when you could just be doing gold bars and get so much faster XP. Addy bars, myth bars, and rune bars are a little bit better. Right now, the best is Addy bars actually, which seem to be about 1.3 mil an hour right now. But at times I know that rune bars can get upwards of 2 mil GP per hour just when the prices become right. So they could end up being really good. It seems like coal is pretty high in price right now, and rune bars are a little bit lower in price than they often are, which would obviously be not so advantageous. But really the most important thing that I could tell for making any other type of bar through the blast furnace is to use a coal bag, which you can get from Motherlode Mine. The coal bag can hold 27 pieces of coal, so it's basically an extra inventory for worth of coal. So you can fill up your coal bag and your inventory full of coal at the bank, take it all over to the conveyor belt, and then take your regular ores, and that'll make it significantly less trips every time you want to make more bars. So definitely do that if you're going to be making any other type of bar. But yeah, the best XP per hour you can get is with rune bars, obviously, and it caps at maybe about 100k XP if you get a really good hour, probably more like 80k or 90k most of the time. So the XP per hour is definitely less, but if all you care about is profit, you can still make a good amount of money, probably between 100 and 200 mil from 99 smithing, and it would take about 130 hours if you were to do, maybe 130 to 150 if you were to do rune. And you do need 85 smithing to do rune bars also, so you'll have to do lower level bars before that. So that can be a nice way to go if you want to make money through smithing. There's not really any other reasonable way to make good money through smithing and still get decent XP. I would still recommend doing gold bars over anything else, but if you really do want to make money, then that can be a really nice option. And it works the same way as far as, you know, you go to Truebf or whatever other CC is active and go through the same basic steps. So that's pretty much all there is as far as smithing. Really, it's mainly just doing gold bars in the blast furnace, and that's definitely the best way to go right now. So hope this guide helped you guys out. Hope you enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to drop a like. If you have any other comments or questions or concerns or any other interesting methods that I haven't covered, then you can definitely let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, this guide has been heavily requested, so hopefully this gives you guys the information that you've been wanting to know. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys all later.